The strikes were a spectacular military success. Why, from one day to the next, did we go from complete annihilation to, well, sensitive intelligence, we've set the program back? It's because they want future operations. I talked in videos yesterday, on Sunday, about this attack in Iran. I talked about how they are not leaving themselves any room for future military action, for future allowing of Israel to go in and just bomb indiscriminate targets. That because of Donald Trump's weakness inside and his insecurity and his just crippling fright that people will know of exactly what a stupid asshole he is. They have not left themselves any room. They've talked about this attack as such an overwhelming success that it leaves no room for future military operations, which is a good thing. But now what they're trying to do is change the narrative. JD Vance went out on the Sunday shows yesterday, this week, and Meet the Press. And in both of these appearances, he backtracked a lot from overwhelming success, obliteration, destruction. From all of that, he's now saying, well, I can't really get into the intelligence of whether their nuclear capabilities are completely destroyed. I don't want to get into sensitive data about that. Which is a far cry from the announcements that were made following the attack, because they got to give MAGA the win. They got to give Donald Trump, the big, strong, tough military guy, the commander-in-chief. They have to give him the overwhelming win, unlike anything we've ever seen in the history of the planet. And that shoots them in the foot. Watch this from JD Vance on This Week with Jonathan Karl, and then we'll move on to Meet the Press, and then we'll show you exactly why this is a problem for them.
Mr. Vice President, thank you for joining us. The big question, is the United States now at war with Iran?
No, we're not at war with Iran, John. We're at war with Iran's nuclear program, and I think the president took decisive action to destroy that program last night. If I could step back a little bit, we have to give an incredible amount of gratitude to the troops who did an amazing thing last night. Think about this, John. They flew thousands of miles away, a 30-hour nonstop flight. They never touched down on the ground, and they dropped a 30,000-pound bomb on a target about the size of a washing machine. No military in the world has the training, the skills, and the equipment to do what these guys did last night. I know the president and I are both very proud of them, and I think what they did was accomplish a very core American national objective. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapons program. The president's been very clear about this, and thanks to the bravery and competence and skill of our great pilots and everybody who supported this mission, we took a major step forward for that national objective last night.
It certainly was a complex and overwhelming mission, 125 aircraft involved, we are told. Can you say definitively that Iran's nuclear program has now been destroyed?
Well, John, I don't want to get into the sensitive intelligence here, but we know that we set the Iranian nuclear program back substantially last night.
Well, John, I don't want to get into the sensitive intelligence here. You don't have to, JD Vance. We heard from Pete Hegseth, who I'm going to reintroduce you to in a moment. We heard from Donald Trump, which I'm going to reacquaint you with his statements about it. He said something similar, but equally problematic on Meet the Press with Kristen Welker.
Congressman Thomas Massie saying this was unconstitutional. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez saying it's grounds for impeachment, saying the president should have gotten congressional approval first. What do you say to members of Congress who say it was unconstitutional for the president to act unilaterally?
Well, I'd say two things, Kristen, and this is very important. First of all, the president has clear authority to act to prevent the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction, and the worst weapon of mass destruction of them all is nuclear. The idea that this was outside of presidential authority, I think any real serious legal person would tell you that's not true. And the second thing is, Kristen, I certainly empathize with Americans who are exhausted after 25 years of foreign entanglements in the Middle East. I understand the concern, but the difference is that back then we had dumb presidents, and now we have a president who actually knows how to accomplish America's national security objectives. So this is not going to be some long, drawn-out thing. We've got in, we've done the job of setting their nuclear program back. We're going to now work to permanently dismantle that nuclear program over the coming years, and that is what the president has set out to do. Simple principle.
Wait, JD, you animated Cabbage Patch doll. What do you mean? We've done the job of setting their nuclear program back. We're going to now work to permanently dismantle that nuclear program over the coming years. What is this talk, brother? I thought it was completely smashed, obliterated. I mean, that's what Pete Hegseth said.
Last night on President Trump's orders, U.S. Central Command conducted a precision strike in the middle of the night against 3 nuclear facilities in Iran, Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan, in order to destroy or severely degrade Iran's nuclear program. And as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs will demonstrate, it was an incredible and overwhelming success. The order we received from our commander-in-chief was focused, it was powerful, and it was clear. We devastated the Iranian nuclear program. But it's worth noting the operation did not target Iranian troops or the Iranian people. For the entirety of his time in office, President Trump has consistently stated for over 10 years that Iran must not get a nuclear weapon. Full stop. Thanks to President Trump's bold and visionary leadership and his commitment to peace through strength, Iran's nuclear ambitions have been obliterated.
Incredible and overwhelming success! Iran's nuclear ambitions have been obliterated! Sunday, come down to the monster truck rally! That was the tone and tenor of the announcements. And you might be saying to yourself, well, that was just Pete Hegseth. You didn't hear that from the commander-in-chief, the mighty military man. You didn't hear that from draft dodger Donald Trump. Except we did.
Thank you very much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
The strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. So where's the wiggle room? Why from one day to the next did we go from complete annihilation to, well, sensitive intelligence, we've set the program back? It's because they want future operations. They want future political distractions. They want to allow Israel with Benjamin Netanyahu to go in there and conduct another genocide in the region. It's what they want. And now you can't have it both ways, but somehow they're going to try to make it that way, while trying to navigate the waters of assuaging the problematic understanding of foreign policy of MAGA, who state that they don't want foreign wars. We're starting to see that shift after they've been delivered their talking points. But there's a whole bunch of wrangling that's happening right now. There's a lot of very messy waters that are being navigated right now by the dumbest motherfuckers alive. Donald Trump puts the worst people around him. such expertise and understanding of military intelligence and national security intelligence and all of the data that come with that, and then says, well, she's wrong. Tulsi Gabbard, she's such an expert, such one of the best people that Donald Trump's going to surround himself with, that he says she's wrong and he's going to go with his gut. Yeah. Donald Trump's ego will be the death of us all. His insecurities, his rampant, cancerous insecurities, are a detriment, not only to the very existence of the country and our democracy, but to your life. Because let me tell you, Iran is a state sponsor of terrorism. And what do you think they're going to try to do, whether it be through sleeper cells in the United States, which the administration is warning of? I'm going to talk about that in a subsequent video. I want to know what you think about all this. You can comment below. That'll help the algorithm to share this content. That could be your contribution to helping this channel today. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, as always, daily at dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. Please consider supporting this work. You can click the join button below for $2 a month. Become a channel member. Help us grow this channel, fund this channel, reach the millions of people that we do. I would appreciate it very much. You can also, alternatively, go to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. Same deal. They take way less money, but it's just like channel memberships. Anyway, follow me on social media. If you're already there, don't sign up to do so, because social media is also a cancer, just like Donald Trump's insecurity. But if you're already there and you want to languish in misery, I am at Dollemore. That's where I can be found, just about everywhere. And I will see you next time. I appreciate you. Be genuine. Take care of one another.